There's a war happening right now. Not on a battlefield, not between countries, but inside you. A war between the person you were conditioned to be and the person you were born to become. And every day you delay this transformation, you hand the keys of your life to fear, to doubt, to habit, to hesitation. You let the world write your script when you were supposed to write your own. Most people don't live their lives. They relive their past. The same thoughts, the same patterns, the same self-imposed limits. They call it reality, but it's not reality. It's repetition. And repetition is powerful, because whatever you repeat, you become. The question is, are you repeating belief, or are you repeating bondage? Are you rehearsing courage, or are you memorizing mediocrity? Every morning when you open your eyes, you step onto a stage. And whether you realize it or not, you're reading from a script. The lines might sound like, "I'm not ready. I'm not enough. Maybe later. Maybe someday." But here's the truth. Someday is not on the calendar. There is no perfect moment coming to rescue you. There is no magical day when fear disappears and confidence knocks on your door. That's not how this works. You don't wait for belief. You build it. You don't wait to feel worthy. You decide to act anyway. That's where real power starts, not in motivation, but in motion. Edison didn't invent the light bulb because he was certain it would work. He invented it because he was certain he would figure it out. Carnegie didn't become a steel magnate because he was born with a map. He became one because he believed before anyone else did. Disney didn't build an empire because he waited for permission. He built it because he saw worlds in his mind and refused to let them stay there. Lincoln led a nation through war and division because he held on to one truth when the whole world doubted him. Belief shapes destiny. And now it's your turn. Because life doesn't hand greatness to the hesitant. Life rewards the bold. Life bows to those who believe before they see. But belief is not a feeling. It's not a mood. It's not a spark you wait for. It is a muscle you train. And just like any muscle, belief grows with resistance. The moments when you don't feel ready, those are your reps. The moments when fear whispers in your ear, that's your chance to get stronger. The moments when doubt circles like a vulture, that's when you either fold or forge forward anyway. Most people hesitate because they're waiting for certainty. But certainty is an illusion. The most powerful people in history moved forward without it. They walked into the unknown with shaky hands but steady hearts. They chose faith over fear, decision over delay. Because they understood something simple. You don't become confident and then act. You act, and that's how you become confident. Action is how belief gets built. Decision is how destiny gets made. And if you don't choose your path, someone else will choose it for you. The world will gladly hand you a script. Be quiet, stay safe, play small, fit in, but you weren't born to fit in. You were born to break through. You were born to stand up, speak out, and carve your own path. So ask yourself, what do you believe right now? Not just with your lips, but with your life. Because belief is not what you say. It's what you practice. It's not the words you whisper when things are easy. It's the decisions you make when everything feels hard. It's not affirmations on your wall. It's the action you take in the dark when no one is watching. You want to change your life? Change your belief system. You want to become someone new? Start believing new things about yourself, about your potential, about the world. Because belief is not a soft emotion. It's not wishful thinking. It's not passive hope. It is the architect of your reality. If you believe you're a failure, you'll find a way to prove it. If you believe you're not ready, you'll stay stuck in preparation. If you believe the world is against you, you'll never move forward. But if you believe you were made for more, if you believe you are worthy of greatness, if you believe discipline will beat circumstance, if you believe action transforms everything, then your life starts to bend toward that vision. You cannot outgrow your belief system, your income, your impact, your happiness, your relationships. They will never exceed your identity. And your identity is sculpted by belief. What you believe about yourself sets the ceiling for your life. That's why it's not about just doing more. It's about becoming someone new. You don't get what you want. You get who you are willing to become. And becoming starts today, not tomorrow, not next week, not when life feels easier. Because life won't get easier. You'll get stronger. Purpose does not find you. You find it by moving. Clarity does not fall from the sky. It shows up when you take the first step into the fog. Confidence is not a prerequisite. It's a consequence. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect in action. You have to decide. Do you want to live the same year over and over again? Or do you want to wake up one morning and see that your life reflects your courage, not your comfort? Think of a sculptor staring at marble. Inside the stone is a masterpiece, but no one else can see it yet. That's your potential. And the chisel? That's your belief. That's your decision to act even when it's uncomfortable, to keep going even when no one claps for you, to sharpen your vision when everyone else settles. Most people spend their lives in the waiting room of their dreams, waiting for the right time, waiting for permission, waiting for perfect conditions. But life is not a waiting room. It's a workshop. You must build the life you want with your own hands. You must hammer your vision into reality. You must cut away the fear, carve out the doubt, and polish the raw material of your mind until it reflects the person you were meant to be. Because belief is not static. It is an act of creation. And every day you have a choice. Stay who you've always been, or become who you were born to become. Look around you. Every structure, every invention, every fortune, every movement, it all started the same way, with belief. Not the kind whispered in safe corners, but the kind declared in action. When Henry Ford said, "I will build a car for the masses," they laughed. They said it was impossible. He did it anyway. When Thomas Edison said, "I will light the world," they mocked his failures, but he failed forward until the darkness gave up. When Walt Disney imagined worlds no one else could see, he was called a fool. But now the world pays to step inside his vision. The world always doubts at first, but belief, when coupled with persistence, rewrites reality. You have that same power. Inside you right now is a vision no one else can see, a dream no one else can build, a masterpiece no one else can sculpt. But you cannot wait for others to believe in it. That is your job. You must hold the blueprint steady, even when your hands shake. You must keep building when the audience is silent. You must keep pushing when the crowd walks away, because belief is not a crowd sport. It's a solo journey before it's ever a public victory. And here's the truth no one tells you. You're not stuck because of your potential. You're stuck because of your pattern of thought, your pattern of reaction, your pattern of avoiding the discomfort that leads to growth. But you can break the pattern. You can interrupt the cycle, because patterns are nothing but habits, and habits are nothing but choices made daily, repeated until they feel like truth. So what are you choosing today? To stay in the loop of limitation, or to step into the loop of leadership over your own mind? Because leadership starts there, not with followers, but with self-command. You don't need more motivation. You need more movement, not tomorrow, today. You don't need more information. You need more implementation, because knowledge is not power until you act on it. The great ones understood this. Lincoln wrote speeches in the middle of the night, not because he was inspired, but because he was responsible for his own clarity. Edison filled notebooks with sketches and failures, not because he was sure of success, but because he was obsessed with progress. Carnegie studied every book on business and psychology, not because he was trying to sound smart, but because he was committed to building mental armor. They were not waiting for life to choose them. They chose themselves every single day. So why not you? Why not now? The clock is ticking, whether you take action or not. The months will pass, whether you move or stay still. The years will roll by, whether you create or complain. 5 years from now, you'll look back. Will you say, "I'm so glad I started"? Or will you whisper, I wish I had. Regret is the price you pay for delaying belief. But momentum? Momentum is the reward you get for starting when you don't feel ready. Most people live their lives in neutral. They think they're staying safe, but they're actually sliding backwards. Because the world doesn't stand still. Life is either expanding or contracting. You are either becoming more or you are becoming less. There is no middle. The mind craves clarity, and clarity comes from commitment. You decide who you are first, then you act like it. Even when it's hard, even when it's lonely, even when it's terrifying. You say, I am a leader. I am a creator. I am a person of discipline, focus, and resilience. And then you prove it to yourself with action. That's how identity is built, not by hoping, but by habit. It starts small. One decision. 1 hour of deep work. One hard conversation you've been avoiding. One step in the direction of the life you actually want. But small is not insignificant. Small is where momentum lives. Every empire starts with a brick. Every masterpiece starts with a stroke. Every legacy starts with a single day of non-negotiable discipline. The difference between the person you are now and the person you want to become is not talent. It's not opportunity. It's decision. The decision to stop living by default. The decision to stop outsourcing your confidence to external results. The decision to start now, not later. Your mind is the tool. Your vision is the map. Your belief is the fuel. But action is the ignition. Without action, you're just dreaming. With action, you're becoming. And becoming is not easy. It's not comfortable. It's not glamorous when you're in it. Becoming is waking up early when no one claps for you. Becoming is saying no to comfort so you can say yes to growth. Becoming is facing failure and choosing to stand anyway. But let me tell you something powerful. The version of you who is already successful, the one you see in your mind, they're not waiting for you at the finish line. They are calling you from within. They are whispering, I'm already here. You just have to step into me. You have to decide to become me. Today, not someday. This is not about tricks. This is not about hacks. This is about fundamentals. Decide who you are. Believe in that identity. Act in alignment with it. Then do it again tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that, until the old you becomes a distant memory. It's not complicated, but it is rare. Because most people will choose comfort. They will choose excuses. They will choose distraction over direction. But you are not most people. You wouldn't be listening to this if you were. You're here because you know something. You know that who you are becoming is more important than anything you've ever been. So start now. Become what you believe. Not in theory, but in practice. Not someday, but today. The world does not hand greatness to the passive. It does not bow to the hesitant. It does not wait for the person who keeps saying, I'll start tomorrow. The world moves for those who move first. For those who walk into the storm while others stand at the edge, wondering if the wind will die down. For those who bet on themselves before anyone else does. For those who understand that belief is not a luxury. It is a requirement for transformation. So what does it look like? It looks like discipline. It looks like waking up and doing the hard thing first. It looks like choosing focus when the world offers you 1,000 distractions. It looks like writing your goals, even when you feel unmotivated. It looks like speaking your vision aloud, even when your voice trembles. This is not arrogance. It is alignment. It is agreement with your higher self, the version of you that already knows what you're capable of if you would just stop waiting and start becoming. Most people walk through life blindfolded, reacting, repeating, recycling the same emotions, the same doubts, the same fears, until they've convinced themselves that this is just the way life is. But life is not static. It is malleable. It bends to the hand of the person willing to mold it. It follows the blueprint of the one who dares to design their own destiny, regardless of what others think. There is no magic to this. It's not about wishing. It's not about hoping. It's about choosing. becoming, and repeating. It's about waking up every day and asking yourself, what does the highest version of me do today? Then you do that. Not once, not twice, but until it becomes your new identity. Success is not about chasing. It's about aligning with the version of you that already exists at a higher level. Because here's the truth. The person you dream of being is not waiting in the distance. That person is already inside you, dormant, untapped, ready. But they do not awaken through comfort. They awaken through challenge. They awaken when you stop living by the script someone else handed you. They awaken when you write your own story. Think of your life like a canvas. Right now, you might be staring at scattered brushstrokes, messy lines, half-finished ideas. But the masterpiece is still possible. The masterpiece is built one stroke at a time, with intention, with courage, with discipline. You don't need to know how the whole picture will look yet. You only need to paint the next stroke, take the next action, say the next affirmation, make the next bold decision. This is how you shift from victim to visionary, from reactor to creator, from wanderer to warrior. When you believe in yourself, you are not saying life will be easy. You are saying you will be ready. You will be ready to adapt, ready to learn, ready to grow, ready to rise after failure, because failure is not your identity. It's part of the process. Resilience is not given to the chosen few. It is earned by the people who decide they will not quit when it's hard. They will not negotiate with fear. They will not delay their dreams. They will not shrink just because the world tries to keep them small. So I ask you now, what would happen if you fully committed? What would happen if you dropped the excuses and picked up the pen to write your own destiny? What would happen if you became the person you already know you're supposed to be? The answer is simple. Your life would change. Because life does not respond to passive hope. It responds to active belief. Most people spend their lives waiting for permission. But the people who rise, the people who build, the people who transform, they give themselves permission. They decide, I am the one who changes this family's legacy. I am the one who breaks this cycle. I am the one who leads regardless of fear. They understand that fear is normal, but action is necessary. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to move despite it. Think of all the people you admire. Do you think they were fearless? Do you think they were always sure of themselves? No. They just chose courage one more time than they chose comfort. They just kept moving forward when others froze. You have that same power. It is not hidden from you. It is not reserved for the elite. It is not locked away behind someone else's permission. It is yours, right now, if you decide to claim it. So stop waiting for life to give you a signal. This is the signal. This is the wake-up call. This is the moment you choose to stop playing small, to stop rehearsing failure, to stop telling the same tired story about why you can't. You are not your excuses. You are not your past. You are not your limitations. You are the architect of your future. So build it. Start today. Believe like your life depends on it, because it does. Act like success is already yours. Because when you align your actions with belief, success has no choice but to follow. Become what you believe. Become who you were meant to be. Become the version of you that wakes up on fire, moves through life with conviction, and refuses to settle for average. This is not a suggestion. It is a command to your highest self. You don't have time to waste. You don't have years to throw away on fear and hesitation. You have one life, one shot, one legacy to leave. So stop rehearsing defeat. Start practicing greatness. Become what you believe, starting today, and never look back.